wants you to hear right now is what are the most important messages Spirit wants the collective to hear right now? Okay, you have the Knight of Swords. So something's coming in quick, maybe a message or a truth. It's going to change something. It's going to cut something out, maybe possibly cause you to cut something out. It's possibly going to be a hard truth or a hard message, or someone's coming in with their truth. Okay. What else? The most important messages the collective needs to hear right now. Okay. Again, today we have the Ten of Pentacles. So the Ten of Pentacles are about a house, maybe a home. Maybe someone's going to get a home, a new home. Could be relationship, could be love, because we have the couple here. Could be a truth about a relationship. There's loyalty because of the dog. You know, that's loyalty. That's man's best friend. Wisdom and knowledge that you've gained. Again, you know, they're iterating on the wisdom and the knowledge that you've gained on your journey. So don't take things personally. It was meant to teach you something about yourself. Doesn't have to do with anybody else. You know what I mean? It's things you're learning about yourself, about your self-value, about who you are, who you've always been, and you just didn't know it because maybe because of upbringing, you know, maybe you were put down your whole life, maybe, you know, relationships have caused you to not know your worth. When you came here as a baby, you knew who you were. With the traumas and other people's opinions and thoughts and projections caused you to forget who you were. You've always been worthy. You've always been, you know, deserving of anything and everything you've ever wanted. So get back into that childlike innocence again. You know, what were your dreams when you were a kid? Like, what were you thinking about? What did you want to be? Who did you want to be? What kind of relationship did you want? You know, what kind of home did you want? Think about those things and get back into that. Get back into your passion, into your arts, into your crafts, drawing, music, whatever it is that you're passionate about. The spirit is telling you to get back into that, to bring that back out. You know what I mean? You've been on a long journey, but this is your Ten of Pentacles. You are capable of getting it. You are worthy of it. You can have anything that you want and wish for. You know, just be discerning on what comes in. You know, they're saying don't take, you know, the first offer just because it looks good. You know, really pay attention to it. Really make sure that it matches up with you. You know, you don't have to rush into anything. And I'm getting the rushing again. You don't have to rush into anything. Take your time and make sure it's the right fit for you. Whether it's love, home, job, whatever it is, you know, make sure it fits you. Like if you're going to a job, you're doing an interview and they're seeing if you fit, but you need to make sure they fit. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't take a job just because it's a job. Make sure that it fits you and it's something that, you know, excites you, excites your passion, because you're not supposed to be doing something that makes you miserable. You're supposed to be doing something that you love. So, what else? You're guarded. You've been through a lot. You know, you're ready to cut out the next person or the next thing that comes in because you've been through a lot, you know. You've been hurt, you've been backstabbed, you've been betrayed, you've been abandoned. You just feel left out. You just felt like, maybe you feel like there's nothing out there for you, but that's not true. That's not true. You need to change that thought, that perception, change your mind on that. Look at yourself in a different light. What are the negative things that you're saying to yourself? What are the negative thoughts in your head? I can't do this. This won't happen. That's not going to work out. Change that. Change the way that you think, because the way that you think is what you're manifesting. You're actually co-creating with spirit, with God. You're creating your world around you. And, that's a hard pill to swallow. You know what I mean? And things aren't being done to you to hurt you. They're being done to you to show you who you are. God has to take you down to the ground to rebuild you correctly, because you've been taught wrong. Your parents you might have grown up with your parents saying, we don't have money for this. We can't get this. You can't have this. That's not true. That's not true. That's a perception that was put in your head. You might have been told you weren't good enough. You weren't never going to make it. You didn't go to college, so, you're not worthy of anything. You're going to be a loser. You're never going to get anywhere in life. That's not true. None of those things are true. That's lies that we tell ourselves because of patterns and behaviors and thoughts that other people have put into our minds. So, know your worth. Know who you are. Return back to who you are. Let your parents and your aunts and your uncles and your cousins and your sisters and your brothers project whatever they want, and don't take it. Duck. If you duck, you don't say anything, you don't let it affect you, it won't affect you. Don't let them emotionally get into in here. Don't let them emotionally manipulate you. A lot of people who do that, they feel like they aren't worthy. They're just projecting onto you. So don't take it. Just duck. And you duck, and it's going to boomerang and hit them. Karma is not what people think it is. Oh, I hope they get their karma. Don't do that. Don't do that, because it will boomerang back to you. Karma is not about somebody else getting karma for what they've done to you. It's about getting karma for their own actions, for the way that they see and value and treat people. And, so don't wish that on anyone, because it will boomerang back on you. And that's not good. But you're guarded. And you have a right to be guarded. But don't block your heart. Don't tell yourself that you can't do it, because how many times did you block your heart, say, I'm never doing this again, and turn around and do it because they got under the walls, they got through the razor wire, they got the damn key from somewhere and unlocked that door. Don't guard it, don't block it. Just know, you see the signs. You've been there, you've done that. You got the t-shirt, you got the trophy, you got the award. So you don't have to block your heart. You have to just be discerning. If you start seeing red flags, start addressing them. Start talking to them about, well, this makes me feel this way when you do this. And if the behavior doesn't change, whether that's a job or a home or a person, whatever, if the situation does not change and they are not willing to come forward and meet you halfway, and agree on it, something you both can agree on, then it's not for you. Leave. I don't care where it is. Leave. Because what's meant for you is always going to be for you. And no one can take that from you. They can try. They can be envious. They can be jealous. They can take you to your knees. They can put you through hell. They can drag you through the mud. But in the end, all they can do is delay it. They can't stop anything that belongs to you. So use that sword and cut out anything that doesn't serve you. Anything that makes you feel less than you are. anything that makes you feel like I just can't win in this, cut it out. And look, I was told to get out. I up and left. I'm in my car. This isn't the first time I've been in my car because someone put me out. But you know what? I know that when something is taken, it is always replaced. So it will be replaced. Me and my cat will have a place soon, And I just have to be patient for that. Same with you. Whatever it is you want, don't be afraid to take the action to cut it out. Because when you take that action, you're showing God divine that you really want something different, that you really know your worth. So, don't be afraid. Even if you end up out here like I am, homeless, don't be afraid, because you are taken care of. You've always been taken care of. Think about it. How many times did you go without? You usually always have what you need. One way or another, someone comes in and gives you what you need and shows you what you need, or a stranger help you, and just thank them. Don't say, are you sure? Don't say, I hate asking or I hate accepting. No, receive. Let yourself receive and be happy and glorious. I don't care if it's $1, $2, and you're having a rough spot. Feel the love in your heart and receive it. Thank them. A lot came out on that card. What else? No one can take you down or take anything from you unless you allow them. And even if they do, let them gloat. Let them, think they won. Because in the end, they really haven't, Somebody might be hollering at you, saying, hey, come over here. I might like to get to know you, Or you could be hollering goodbye to something, See you later, Serenata, or however you say that. But you're starting on a new journey. This is a new journey. You might have been through hell, and this is what I call the dark night of the shadow, and I've heard other readers call it, but I love the term because you do go through a shadow period, and it does hurt, but in the end, you come out better. You come out cleaner. You come out purer. So go on this journey. Get your passion back. Get your fire back and go on this journey. And don't let fear stop you, because that's what the devil wants. The devil wants you to let fear stop you, to get in your head, to overthink things, to be woe is me. That's what the devil wants, because on the other side of the fear is something good. So he doesn't want you to go through the fear. He doesn't want you to go through the dark woods to realize that there's paradise on the other side of those woods. So just keep pushing forward. Get back into your passions. Get back into your crafts. Get excited about life. Get back out there. Go on this new journey. What else? Okay, we have the Eight of Swords. So you're kind of feeling stuck right now. And that's fine. Feel your emotions. Feel the way that you feel. Don't just logically, think about it. But you're not stuck. You're not stuck. Spirit has you in a delay right now. There's an order you put in. There's a wish you made. And just like going to McDonald's and getting an order of fries and a hamburger, you have to wait. It's not there just as soon as you order it. You have to wait for them to make it. So you have to wait for God, divine co-creator, to create it, to move obstacles out of your way, to get everything ready. Swords are in your head. Swords are thoughts. So you need to be a little bit more patient with yourself, be a little bit more patient with God divine, and know that, you can cut these bindings off. You can back up to one of these swords, cut your hands free, take that blindfold off, and step right through those swords. So just be patient with yourself. This isn't something that's going to last. This is just, for the moment, for the time being. I'll give you an example. Yes, I'm out in the cold, and my cat's out here, but I have him on a leash, and we're out here enjoying nature, and the water, the river. There's a gazebo here, like it's beautiful, so I'm enjoying it. And at night we just cover up and get warm. That's all. But it's kind of like a vacation, be honest, you know. And I have everything that I need, and so will you. So get out of your head. Get out of head. You got this. Knight of Pentacles. You got something slowly coming in, and it might, take a little bit. There might be a delay. It's slow. I call this, the king that forgot his crown. He's on his journey to you, but he stops off at the bar and he has some drinks with some friends, or he stops off at the river and goes fishing or goes swimming, maybe even takes a bath, who knows. But anyway, he gets almost to you and realizes he forgot his crown, so he's got to go back and he's got to get it again and start the whole journey again, and he gets sidetracked. That's the way I see this night. But he is coming, and he is going to get to you, whether it be a person, a job, whatever. It's coming. It may be slow, it may be delayed, but it is coming. So you do have news coming. He's a messenger. He brings news. This could be news about stability, news about a career or a job, a message of some sort. And he has a seed too. So he's got to plant that seed in order for it to grow, right? You see that as a seed? It has to be planted. So what Spirit is saying is take action. Take action toward what it is that you want. You take one step forward, he'll take 9 to meet you. But you have to take that first step, because he's not going to do it for you. You have to put your intention out there. What is it you want? What are you manifesting? And from what place are you manifesting? Because if you're manifesting from a negative space, you're going to call more negative in. You're manifesting from a positive space, you're going to call more positive in. And I know that's hard to believe, but manifestation is real. I've used it in my life several times. I've manifested dressers. I've manifested a home. I've manifested a vehicle, the type that I like. I haven't put all details into it, but be very careful of the details, because I got the dresser, but the strip on it was broken off, which didn't matter. It worked, but it wasn't exactly how I pictured it. So be careful with the details when you're manifesting. And you have a Page of Cups. So something coming in that's going to make you emotional. That's going to tap into that heart space, Use your heart space. Use the love. Use the passion. Use the fire. This could also be a love offer coming in, or something coming in that you're going to love. You're going to enjoy. It's just the beginning. It's a page. It's just the beginning. But it has potential to grow. I mean, we've got pentacles here. So that's the potential to grow into something, that is, has big potential. Depends on what you do with it. Okay, and what is on the bottom? The 10 of Wands. So that doesn't surprise me that this came out. With everything that's going on here, and you being stuck in your head and feeling trapped and being guarded, this is letting your burdens down. So what burdens are you carrying of everybody else's? Because they're not yours. They belong to them. And, while you're carrying them, you're also getting the karma that they're getting. You're also signing that soul contract with them. You're taking on their karma. They're taking on your karma. So let these burdens go. Stop. Stop helping people. Stop helping people who aren't helping themselves. Stop doing things for everybody else that aren't doing it for themselves. God Divine is telling you to lay that burden down. Let people carry their own. Let people carry their own burdens. I mean, that's like what I was doing. I moved in and was taking care of a woman, and she needed a voice because she didn't have one. And I gave her that voice, I gave her that voice. I stood up for her. I gave her that voice. And after that, my job was done. So I'd already, had the thought come in to sign up, on housing. And I didn't do it as soon as the thought came in. I second guessed myself. We got to stop doing that. Not only me, we've got to stop doing that, because that's exactly where I needed to go. That was divine already telling me that my job was done there. I gave her her voice. She's getting justice. So, now it's time to move on to something else. And as a tarot reader, I am put in places where I am needed. And I have people come to me that need me. And I go to people that need me. So staying there, I was, not out here for y'all, for one. You know what I mean? Like, you guys need me. I'm a guide, I channel. I read the messages on the cards, but I also channel. And I'm very good at what I do. And I'm pretty accurate at what I do. I've had people tell me over and over again, So you're carrying other people's burdens. So you're holding yourself back from your journey and possibly holding the other person back that needs to meet you. You're going to have some kind of effect in their lives. You're going to do something for them. So lay those burdens down. You're not quite there yet. You got a little ways to go. He's still hiking up this mountain, but you can see the house right there. He's going to get up there and lay those burdens down and only choose what you need. Maybe it's just one wand, just your problems. You know what I mean? Just your burdens, just what you got to do for you. Because if you're not filling your own cup and doing for you, you can't fill anybody else's. And you can drag yourself down to the complete ground trying to help somebody else who is not helping themselves. So love you, put you first, put your healthy boundaries up and stick to them. Don't waver. Don't let people change it. You know what I mean? Put those burdens down and move on your journey. And he's telling me to look underneath. Yeah, you have Knight of Cups. So there is definitely something emotional coming in. Whether it's going to be love or it's going to be something you love. It's definitely coming in, and it's grown from the page to the Knight. So it's getting there. God, creator, divine source, whatever you believe in, it is working on it. It's coming in. So don't hold yourself back. Get on that wheel. And yeah, see the moon. You don't know what's coming. It's unknown. It might be a little scary, but trust me, it's better than where you are. It's better than what you got. Just do it. We're going to get a Arc Animal Tarot card. And I did shuffle these, but I will shuffle them again in front of y'all. I always shuffle my cards before I come on here. I cleanse them, clean them, shuffle them. What message do you want the collective to have? What message do you want the collective to have? One message, please. What message do you want the collective to have? See, I doubt it myself because others, you know what I mean? And I know I'm good. I've had several people tell me that I'm good at what I do. And I help them. I've brought people to tears. Not that I like doing that, but it just because I know what they're going through. I've been there, and I understand them. And I've brought them to tears because they've realized that there is somebody out there to help them. So, what message? Give me a message, please. Yeah, a message for the collective. These cards are a little hard to handle, and they're new. So, well, maybe we're not going to get one today. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay, we have the Quail. Refuge, nourishment, and solutions. So you might need to take refuge. You might need to go into the shadows, not tell people what you're doing, because when you tell people what you're doing, they can throw shade and hate at that, and it does affect it. So, maybe you're working in the background. Keep on doing that, Spirit says. Nourishment, yes, you need to nourish yourself, not only, with food and stuff like that, but nourish your soul, nourish your passions, nourish what it is that you want and you're going forward with. And, you know, work on the solutions. You will find a solution. And instead of saying I can't or it won't happen, work on a solution, you know? Okay, let's look this up. Did I read that wrong? No. There it is. Okay. Quail. Around the world, quails have distinct roles in myths and lore. Among the Native Americans of the Southwest, quail embraces the qualities of humanity and modesty. This bird is also a representative of Earth and its sacred nature. Because of this reference, the Pueblo Creek and the Cherokee all have quail ritual dances. The Hopi see quail as a symbol of devotion and life cycles, particularly when they appear in mated pairs. Among the Seneca, quail personifies warm weather. This association mirrors the Hindu story of twin deities who release a quail annually from the mouth of a wolf who is the spirit of winter. In the Far East, quail remains a sign of new life and good fortune. This makes quail a very hopeful omen that may betoken love, renewal, and improved sense of security. Quail meaning also involves attentiveness and communication. The bird maintains a remarkable awareness of their surroundings, often frustrating predators as a result. They stand in tall grasses using a high-pitched cackle for a warning, but stay still, having heel spurs that not only hold them firm in their ground, but act as useful weapons. Quail is content to stay out of harm's way, but also illustrates bravery when confronted, which may be why the Romans considered the bird an emblem of military valor. Among the Greeks, quail is sacred to Artemis, born on the island of Delos. Delos was once a Titan's daughter, Asteria, who transformed first into a quail and then into the island to avoid Zeus's pursuit. In Greek art and literature, quail signifies a humble spirit and higher awareness. In Pakistan, the quail betokens unrequited love like that of Zeus. Here, the quail, enamored with the moon, stares longingly at it, knowing the two can never be together. For a spirit animal, when quail arrives as your spirit animal, it's time to choose. No, it's time to choose your devotional path, whether life partner or faith. Totem animal. Quail as a totem animal belongs to those who are solution oriented. There's that solution. Power animal. Invoke quail as your power animal when you need help gaining a firm foothold. So, you may need to gain yourself a firm foothold. Go around. Go around. Come here. Hold on. So, yeah, just, keep coming up with solutions and gain yourself a firm foothold. This is Sassacus, guys. Say hi. Say hi. Sassacus Lucas. You got to get down off the table. Go on. Go play. All right, guys. I'm wishing you guys the best. I hope that, you believe in yourself enough to bring in what it is that you need, because that's all it takes is belief. You know, you got to believe. Not only, you know, you got to have faith in God, but you got to have faith in yourself. So just, you know, remain humble and have faith in yourself, and everything will work out in divine timing. And it's not in our time, unfortunately, but, you know, it will work out. I promise. Anyway, I love you guys. Have a good day. Thank you for everyone who watched. Thank you to everyone who's come, you know, to the reading. Have a good day. Love y'all. Later.